Most people believe that if they just earn more money, their life will finally change. They think one promotion, one raise, or one breakthrough opportunity will fix everything. And for a moment, it feels true. The paycheck gets bigger, the lifestyle improves, the pressure seems lighter. But then, something strange happens. The stress doesn't disappear. The pressure doesn't go away. And no matter how much they earn, it still feels like they are chasing something just out of reach. If money alone was the answer, high-income earners would be the most relaxed and fulfilled people in the world. But they're not. Many of them are overworked, overwhelmed, and constantly thinking about the next problem they have to solve. Because income is not the game. And the top 1% understand something. Most people never take the time to figure out. They don't play to earn more money. They play to build systems. From the outside, wealth looks simple. Big numbers, expensive lifestyles, visible success. It looks like freedom. So naturally, people try to copy what they see. They work longer hours. They take on more responsibilities. They push themselves harder. They chase promotions. They increase their income. But there's a hidden flaw in that entire strategy. Money that comes from your time will always be limited by your time. No matter how skilled you are, no matter how dedicated you are, there are only so many hours in a day. And if your income depends on those hours, then your income has a ceiling. So you work harder, you stay late, you sacrifice your energy, your focus, and sometimes even your health. You tell yourself it's temporary, that once you reach a certain level, things will finally settle down. But they rarely do. Because every time your income increases, your responsibilities increase with it. Your expectations rise, your lifestyle expands, and instead of feeling free, you feel even more locked in. This is the trap. And most people never escape it. Because from the outside, it still looks like progress. You are earning more. You are achieving more. You are moving forward. But internally, you're still trading time for money. And the moment you stop, the income stops too. That's the part people don't want to admit. The system they rely on only works as long as they keep working. That's not freedom. That's dependency. For most people, life becomes a cycle. Work, earn, spend, repeat, day after day, year after year. They wake up early, they go to work, they come home tired, they spend what they earned, and then they do it all over again. And over time, that cycle becomes normal. They stop questioning it. They accept it as reality. But deep down, there's always a small voice asking a simple question. What if this isn't how it's supposed to work? What if the problem isn't how hard you're working, but what you're working for? Because the truth is, wealth is not built by working harder. It's built by owning assets. Assets that generate income. Whether you are working or not, they don't depend on your time in the same way a job does. They continue to produce value even when you step away. That could be a business, that runs with systems. It could be investments that grow over time. It could be digital assets that continue generating income long after they are created. The form doesn't matter, the principle does. You are no longer trading time directly for money. You are building something that works for you. And once you understand this, everything changes. Because now, your focus shifts. Instead of asking, how can I earn more? You start asking, how can I build something that keeps earning? Instead of chasing income, you start building leverage. And leverage is where real wealth begins. Because with leverage, your effort doesn't just create one result. It creates something that continues to produce results over time. At first, it's slow. It doesn't feel exciting. It doesn't look impressive. In fact, most people quit during this stage because the results are not immediate. But if you stay consistent, something starts to happen. The small results begin to stack. One income stream becomes two. Two becomes three. Three becomes multiple. And over time, those streams begin to grow. Not in a straight line, but in a curve. Slow in the beginning, then faster, then exponential. This is where the gap starts to widen. Because while most people are still trading time for money, others are building systems that multiply their output. And eventually, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. This is why some people seem to accelerate, while others stay in the same place. It's not always about intelligence. It's not always about talent. It's about the system they are operating in. If your system requires you to constantly trade time for income, your growth will always be limited. But if your system allows your income to grow independently of your time, your potential becomes much larger. This is the shift. This is the moment where everything changes, where you stop thinking like a worker and start thinking like a builder, where you stop focusing only on effort and start focusing on structure. Because structure creates consistency, and consistency creates long-term results. This is also where patience becomes critical, because building assets takes time. It takes focus, it takes discipline, and most importantly, it takes the willingness to delay immediate rewards for long-term gain. But the payoff is different, because instead of constantly starting over, you begin to build on top of what you've already created. And over time, that creates momentum. Momentum that no longer depends entirely on you. This is what freedom actually looks like. Not the absence of work, but the presence of systems that support you. Systems that continue to generate income. Systems that continue to grow. Systems that continue to operate, even when you step away. This is the difference. Most people spend their lives working for money, but the top 1% build systems. where money works for them. And that is how real wealth is built. This changed how you see money. Subscribe for more.